Yo, how's it going? It's Jay Uday in the building, and we are gonna go through how to locate premium buyers on Facebook. This has worked for me in two different niches, the real estate coaching niche, and also in the coaching and consulting niche, which is infinitely more competitive than the real estate niche. Sometimes I wish I was back in the real estate niche. Hope you're well. Gonna explain each step. Grab yourself an English tea. I've got my English tea premium stuff. This is the most for my Americans. This is the expensive stuff, really expensive in London town. This is what the tea drinks. The tea drinks, the Queen drinks. Yeah, the tea drinks. Cool. Let's crack through it. By the way, I am giving out 15-minute whiteboard audits in order to help you to map out your route to find premium buyers on Facebook for 5K, 6K, 7.5K. So feel free to send me a DM in order to claim yours. So without further ado, let's jump into this, shall we? It's all good, baby, baby. So cool. Number one, inbound content. Now, the powerful thing when we hyper target and we've got the right person who is in the demographic, they meet the bill, right? They might be a certain age, or they may earn a certain amount of income, and also the certain psychographic as well. They're progressive. They want to grow their business. They want to succeed. So once we highlight this in our content, then relevant people are going to raise their hand and they're going to say, hey, look, Jay, how did you know you're speaking about me? Jay, oh, that sounds just like my issue. I've got an issue with accountability, or I've got an issue with content, or I've got an issue succeeding in whatever area. So, once we nail this down, what happens? People are going to come to us, and people are going to come to us pre-sold. It happens. I remember I wrote a post about my program, like mentioning that my program, it wasn't just a group coaching program, everyone hop in and everyone just, ask one question per week and then go away. It's look, hey, this is one-to-one. We do role playing in order to make sure you cinch in your techniques and things like this. And so when I put that post out, it was a long form piece of post, about 500, 600 words, but the right person came right to me, right to my inbox, and led to a sale from the DMs. Just because that person was pre-sold with the content, they didn't need to ask many questions. They didn't need any objections handled. Why? Because the objections were handled in the content. And this is why I think it's more than possible to sell in DMs. Of course it is, but I see it as a cherry on the top. Once you've got the authority and, once you've been in the game for a while, then, people may know you more so. But I think if you're starting out, yeah, inbound is great, of course. But if we rely on inbound, we're going to be surviving, drinking water and bread for our food, right? Because inbound won't always cut the mustard when you're starting out. But of course, you can do it for the cherry on the top, but I guess it's not scalable inbound unless you reach a certain audience and a certain position. So inbound's great, those hot leads that they don't have to ask any questions. The next, paid groups. My personal favorite, I remember in the real estate niche, started my new offer, right? I had a group called the Deal Generator in the real estate space. And with this group, I was able to add value to a large amount of people in the group. And it led to maybe 5, 6, 7 sales, high ticket sales in the real estate space, just from one paid group. I think people paid about $4,000 for this group. But it was a great source of people that wanted to further their education. You know why? Because once you buy once, you're gonna buy again and again and again and again and again and again and again, right? Because it's just like if you go to the gym, you're more likely to go again, right? It's just a habit. And so, especially when people pay high ticket in the group, you know that they're not going to shudder when they hear a high investment price, right? Because they're used to investing in themselves, okay? Also, in the coaching space, it's been very, like my very first coaching client in the coaching space came from a paid group. I didn't expect it, to be fair. I think it was around about the end of December when I was beginning to pivot from real estate to coaching. And I was just sort of kind of minding my own business, like coming into the office on the 26th of December. You know, I was hustling back then. And then all of a sudden, I get a message from someone who was in a paid group, who had saw what I had been doing. And then bang, you know, right from a paid, just because I was in the proximity of a paid group, what happened? Magic happened, okay? So being in these paid groups, what we have to do though, we have to find an angle. You can't do the same thing that the people in this paid groups are doing. What's wrong with you? That's not gonna work. You're not gonna swap a tomato for a tomato. Tomato is the same thing. So you got to have an angle. So that's where market research, if you're going to be using paid groups, I'd use market research to find out exactly, okay, where is the issue in the industry? Is there a lack of mindset training? Is there a lack of one-to-one? Is there a lack of accountability? Where is the issue? And then when you find that issue, you can solve it with your particular product, right? So paid groups are absolutely fantastic way of getting leads, okay, who are primed, ready. They're not shy, but they're gonna speak with you if you have something that's gonna solve a problem. That's the key, right? It's gonna be able to solve a problem. So how many paid groups are there on Facebook? Like multiple paid groups. There's paid WhatsApp groups and things like this. So yeah, what I say for a paid group and what I think the threshold is $1,000. $1,000. Like if you go 4 figures, that's okay. Now we're talking, right? People have maybe gone past that barrier of being able to invest high amounts. And then we've got this group, paid membership groups. Now, these aren't as fruitful as the big popper. The big popper is the paid groups, right? But people that spend $87, $47, they still paid something. They still pay something, right? Which is better than nothing. And because they've paid something, then we have to ascertain, hey, are you doing this because you're bored? You know, you just had some spare cash? You're doing this because, you know, you fancied being in the proximity of the leader? Or do you want to get results? Do you want to, because maybe the $47 item was the first step to getting results. We've all been there, right? Okay, we're going to give it a little, invest a little. And then what happens after? We invest more, and then we invest more, and then we invest more. Why? Because we want to get a deeper level of transformation and we want to be able to get the results faster, right? So paid membership, that's been a beautiful source for me. Beautiful. Beautiful. I just want you to know you're my girl. I better stick with the marketing, right? I better stick with the marketing. Let me just sip more of this fine branded PG Tips, the best in England. Ah, beautiful. Oh my God, that tea is to die for, man. Ooh, ooh, wow, goosebumps from that tea. So, paid memberships, it just shows a bit of intent. And then people might not know how to leverage the paid membership. People might want to maybe go deeper from that paid membership. People might want another solution from that paid membership. People might be feeling that they're slightly neglected. in that paid membership. And that's where you come in to help. So I'm a member of a couple of paid memberships, actually, and it just gives me proximity to people that want to get a result, that want to jump into the field, and they want to make things happen. So paid membership groups, booyah! That's my thing, baby. You know what I mean? Next, if you're enjoying this, write a comment below. I think I've sort of messed up, and I'm not seeing. I've seen a couple of comments. Okay. The next one. Are we ready? Are we ready? Let's roll. This is such a beautiful one. Your content engagement. Your content engagement. That's so key, right? Hey, Jesse, I know Jesse's on. Hey, how you doing? Why is content engagement so important? Now, if I write 1,000 words really telling people, hey, I was here, I was in a situation where I was teaching in a high school, and then I got fired from my high school job, true stories, right? And then I decided, hey, I had to make a decision whether to apply for another job and to get fired again, because, you know, none of my head teachers seem to like me and stuff. Or I could decide to take it upon myself and to start my business. And so because I started my business, I achieved success in real estate coaching, and now in the coaching industry. It's almost as though someone that resonates with that and has read all of it, when you engage with them in the content and then engage with them in the DMs, it's almost as though they know you already because they've engaged with your content. They haven't come to you inbound, but they don't need to come to you inbound because they've read that long form piece of content and they've connected with it. Is that making sense? The key is connection. And forget about these posts, hey, get your free PDF. Hey, the only thing that gets rewarded in this industry are things that are rare and valuable. And what a 5-year-old can do isn't rare and valuable in the sense of in the online space, right? Maybe a 5-6-year-old could say, hey, free PDF, colored box. They could do that, right? But if you told them to write a long form piece of copy talking about a transformation, might struggle a little bit, just a little bit, right? And so it's got to be rare and valuable. So if you produce rare and valuable content, people are going to see that. People are going to connect with that. And when they connect with that, what's going to happen? We can start conversations with people. Hey, thanks for supporting my post. What did you like about it? How are you doing? How is your business? What's your story? Start some conversations. By the way, hey, look, I've got some ideas for you that might help you in that area that you were talking about. You know, how about we sort of kind of connect further on this? How about I send you some voice notes? How about I send you some articles? How about I refer you to a friend of mine? That's what's going to happen when we are rare and valuable in terms of what we do, when we open our hearts. I was speaking with my friend Balaji, a fellow marketer. He was talking about being vulnerable in your content, right? Because if you are vulnerable, hey, you're going to connect with the right people. I remember a client that I got, I think it was in March actually. And so I did a post. This post wasn't like anything special, right? It's like, hey guys, introduce yourselves below. Bam, 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 bam. And then I met a lady from Canada in the comments, and we had a full-blown conversation on the comments, could you believe? Yeah. There was no sliding in the DMs. It was just straight up in the comments below. We just had the conversation there. And then we got talking about a book called The Ikigai, which is my favorite book by him. I'm not sure if you know The Ikigai, but it's the reason for life, reason for being, in a sense. And because got that book, what happened is we got speaking in the DMs, and then she became a high-ticket client. You know, extremely, extremely powerful, right? Because I was able to connect with her in the comments. So comment engagement is very important. Little trick here. You're also able to look at other people's engagement. Like who else is alive online? Who else is thriving? Who else is, because what we want to do is let's treat Facebook like a big networking room. And when we're in the networking room, like we don't want to be speaking with people gathering cyber dust. The people gathering cyber dust haven't logged in for 2 years. They forgot their Facebook password. Those sorts of people. We don't want to be connected with those people. We want to be connected with people who are liking, they're about. They're not on Facebook just for fun, right? They're on there for a reason. You know what I mean? Unless you're speaking to your uncle in Nigeria. Why else would you be on Facebook, right? Like in the coaching space. Tell me why. There must be a reason, right? And so if we're able to connect with people, then, that's what is very, very, very powerful. We connect. Just like my student Ben, it's just connecting with people. He's got a good nature about him and he's connecting. And the more we connect, the better, okay? The final one, I hope you've enjoyed this live. It was only meant to be 5 minutes, actually, but I hope you don't mind that I've overran here. Your CRM, Customer Relationship Management System. I think that's right. Yeah, sometimes you're thinking that might not be right. But CRM is key. And I think this book, let me grab this book. I've got so many books. It's like I'm playing Jenga. All the books fall down. But Fanatical Prospecting talks about CRM. Your CRM is your power, is your joy. So when you're able to tap into your CRM, we can tap into warm and hot leads, right? In order to advance conversation. So warm leads are people you have rapport with, okay? You've got rapport, they're warm, they know who you are, maybe you've added some value, okay? And then in your CRM, the hot leads are people who have stated a problem. They've said, look, I've got this issue and I want you to help me with this issue. So that's what a hot lead is. And so if you're able to, on a daily basis, see who your warm leads are, see who your hot leads are, then that's going to be a great source of people who can become prospective premium buyers because they have the problem. So let's go over the system. Number one, inbound leads from content. Hyper-targeted content, by the way. Hyper-targeted means we know exactly the problem. We know exactly the situation. We know exactly where they're at. We know exactly where their heart is. We know exactly where their mind is. We know. We're not guessing here. We know. Paid groups. The power of people spending money on a solution means, hey, unless you've got money to burn, you want to get a result, right? So there's no greater way. Like someone can grab a free PDF, but I'd rather speak to someone who's paid $2,000 for a course. Paid membership groups. People spending $50, $100, that sort of stuff on a membership group. Again, there's something that speaks about intention. Your intention isn't just to get freebies, right? Content engagement, that's very important. The people that engage with your content could be potential buyers. And finally, warm and hot leads who are in your CRM. I hope you have enjoyed this training as much as I've enjoyed delivering this training. Tongue twister. Shows it's been a long day. BST, British summer time, baby. But the heat wave has gone. So, before I go, today, what I am offering, if you would like a tailored plan to show how you can get premium clients from Facebook, I've been delving into this for the past 2 years now, just in terms of getting high value people from Facebook, knowing how to qualify them, knowing where to find them, send me a DM now, actually. Send me a DM. Let me know how I could help you. Happy to share my whiteboard with you. Okay. You know, I'll bring out the whiteboard pens, you know what I mean? And draw. And yeah, map out a plan for you. Happy to do that. So get your free audit, send me a DM. Apart from that, I want to wish you a beautiful Thursday, I think morning, afternoon, evening, depends. I know America has Central Time and Eastern and Mountain, Fountain, different sorts of times. But yeah, cool. Send me a DM and we'll catch up soon. Sayonara, arigatou gozaimashita.